This, folks, is the Subaru Levorg. And if we're being fair, this is one nice looking machine. So what makes this car so attractive? Well, one of the things are these Hawkeye lamps. They're to remind us of a bird of prey, angry. In keeping with the Legacy Tour, everything is very rugged. We've got nice sill extensions here to the side and a very subtle spoiler to the new rear. Inside, 522 litres of space and loads of hidden compartments. We know that the Levorg is a good looking machine. We've seen that on the outside. It looks great, but what's it like to drive? Well, here's the good news, folks. It's really good to drive. Yeah, there's a few issues, we'll get to those, but let's start out with Cvt Transmission, okay? Normally, I detest these things. I think they're terrible. I've driven them in some Lexuses, Hondas, Toyotas, you name it. I've never been a fan. Very whiny, very whingy, very reluctant to do the things you want it to do. In this, however, it's the best I've seen so far. Okay, what else about it? The grip, it's phenomenal. Like, this is an all-wheel drive machine, and that's why the extra grip is there. And it's beautiful on corners. It's absolutely savage. At no point does it make you feel unsafe. And yes, I am so taken by it. Subaru have a good history of off-road capabilities, and the all-wheel drive system does seem intelligent enough. So I suppose it's going to get you up those snowy hills, no problem at all. The other thing as well is the suspension is good normally. However, we're up the Dublin Wicklow Mountains at the moment, and there's certain stretches of this, and if you do it with a bit of poke, you end up bouncing the entire way. Other than that, it's really good. On the open road, wow, it just feels so nice to drive. And it's not often I'd say it about big estate cars. You know, this is what, maybe in around 5 meters in length. I rarely describe them as being fun. This car is, and you will be happy. I'm pretty certain of that. Let's talk about infotainment. I find it to be quite complicated in this, to be honest. Now, I've read reviews where people have said it's very easy. I must be having a bad week, but I can't get my head around some things. Like, I mean, there's a smart link attached to this that'll give you internet radio and things like that. I couldn't actually download the link to begin with. The steering wheel controls, there's too many of them, and yes, once again, you need to give yourself a little lesson as to how to use it. Rear space, fantastic, no problem with it whatsoever in terms of leg room, headroom, you know, the things that are important, and yes, I do like it. Now, let's get some of the stats out of the way. Right, on paper, we're told that the average fuel economy of this car should be in around 7.1 litres per 100 kilometres. Now, for those of you who haven't caught up with that system yet, that's in around 40 miles per gallon. It's not too bad. It's an all-wheel drive, 1.6 litre direct injection turbo car. It's petrol. So the fuel economy isn't terrible considering it's all-wheel drive. I'm not returning 40 miles per gallon. I'm actually returning 32.4, which once again is not terrible considering I am putting this vehicle under pressure. So that 7.1 litres per 100 kilometres has not been reached by me, but I'm sure there's a none out there that will reach it. The other thing as well is there's a lot of wind noise with this car, which is kind of disappointing. I'm hearing a lot from the road. And I suppose if I was to pick out a negative that I disliked most about the car, that would probably be it. A lot of noise coming into the cabin. From the second I picked this car up, between the looks, the scoop to the front, I have to say, I really like it.